Well, hello there and welcome along to episode 6 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch. Gavin, I'm back. I was in Hong Kong, but I'm back. And I watched last week's show and I was horrified.
Go away.
Horrified.
Why is that?
Do you know why? My stand-in, Richard Forrestal, presented the show and he had a go at my two favourite horses. Champ, first of all.
Okay.
Doesn't fancy Champ for the RSA at all. Richie, if you're watching, Champ wins the RSA. Forget about it. Secondly, Sam Crow.
Sam Crow, yeah. I was standing up for him.
Well, you just about stood up now.
I know,
yeah?
I did more than Sam Crow did.
Well,
stand up.
I was nearly in tears watching the show. So if there's any Champ and Sam Crow fans watching, don't worry. We're going to be on good terms with those two horses today. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good week?
Yeah, grand.
What a week on the racing front.
Yeah, no, shit, the last month, 5 weeks have been amazing. The Tingle Creek, the John Durkin, was a great weekend. Not that you've seen it, but...
I did. I seen all the replays in preparation for Upping The Ante. So, and we've got some fantastic racing to look forward to this weekend as well. It's just a great time to be alive and be a racing fan.
It is, even allowing for the weather.
Now we're going to kick off this week with our questions from the crowd. And the first question this week comes from Randolph Steele. And Randolph Steele wants to know, does anyone know why Chacon Persois has not run yet? And is there a problem with the great Chacon?
Nobody knows, but it's entered at Christmas in the 2 miler, I think on the 27 in Leopardstown. You have to remember that this horse has only ran twice in the last 3 years, 9 months. So obviously maybe he has just legs of glass or whatever, I don't know, but I'd say Willie's just minding him. He's probably going to run at Christmas. Will he have a second run before Cheltenham? I'd say so. He's 130 for the Champion Chase. To me, Altior is probably going to go to the Champion Chase, and even if Chacon Persois wins at Christmas, he'll still be 5-2 on the day. So I'd be no panic to back a horse that you've only seen twice in the guts of 4 years.
Only thing I will say, schooled after racing in Punchestown on Sunday with a certain Mr. R. Walsh aboard.
Oh, very good.
And the picture that I saw, and it was only a picture, he was out in front of some exceptionally good horses.
Excellent. Look, he looks a brilliant horse. Like he bet Defi Decide by 4 lengths back in Punchestown. So he is class, but just in terms of anti-post, I wouldn't be backing him yet anyway. No
value with Chacon Persois, but he is fine. He worked after racing, and fingers crossed, we will see him at Christmas. Our second question comes from Barry Higgins, and Barry wants to know, are there 2 horses that haven't run yet, but who you think have a good chance at the Cheltenham Festival, Gavin?
Apart from Chacon Persois, we just mentioned, sure, presumably Benny Did You has to have a massive chance. She's 7-4 joint for the Mayor's Hurdle. She'd be one to note, and obviously one of our favourites, Tiger Roll. I've tipped a horse against him, but Tiger Roll will obviously have a massive chance if he shows up in the cross country. So Benny Did You and Tiger Roll will be 2 big ones.
Well, the 2 I'm going to go for, one of them I've already tipped, is City Island, who could go down any route. I've tipped him for the Arkle. He's due to run over 2 mile 1 in the beginner's chase at Leopardstown over Christmas. And to me, he's one that could shorten in the bet and should win impressively. And another one that I think obviously could be a superstar, and we all know how good she is Benny Did You, who I think, I know everybody's thinking that Honeysuckle is going to walk the Mayor's Hurdle, but
well, they're joint favourites, which I think is about right.
Yeah, I think they deserve to be joint.
And also 2 others to mention maybe is Ken Boy and Alboon Photo. We haven't seen them yet. 2nd and 3rd favourites for the Gold Cup, so they deserve a mention.
Excellent. So there's a few that we haven't seen so far this season. The next question comes in from Joseph McFadden, and he wants to know is, would Aramon have any chance in the Champion Hurdle, Gavin? It is Champion Hurdle.
Sure, you'd have a chance in it.
I would. If I carried you on my back.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would we be carrying?
Plenty.
12, 13?
Yeah, more.
A bit more.
It's 33's Aramon at the Champion Hurdle. At this stage of the Champion Hurdle, it's a messy picture. I don't think he can write off any horse that's in it.
He has pace.
He does. He showed great gears. He won the Grade 1 at Christmas last year, and then he was well beat, say, in the Supreme. He was well beat again in Punchestown. He was 2nd in entry to Felix Deji. So he has some good form. Going to all 3 festivals to Cheltenham, Aintree and Punchestown is never a good idea for a horse. So he's had a long break. He might have a squeak, but as I said, the Champion Hurdle is so mixed up that you couldn't write off anything.
And did you see my horse last week? You did speak about him.
Which one?
Epatante.
Oh, Epatante, yeah, you tipped that up.
She is very good.
She's very good, yeah. She won the handicap of 137. There's talk now she might go to the Christmas Hurdle.
Yeah, Nicky is keen to have a crack at the Christmas Hurdle.
Well, JP doesn't have Esperdalen and he doesn't have Bouvardere, so.
And she kind of could potentially be the female equivalent of My Tent or Yours. Strong traveller, jumps really well.
Sounds like a David Jennings horse.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, no,
that's Epatante.
You tipped her up actually the day she won the handicap hurdle.
I did.
So fair play. But she looks all gears.
Plenty to prove, but we might see more from Epatante in the Christmas Hurdle at Kempton on December 26th. And our final question this week comes from Paul Smith, and he wants to know, is Presenting Percy not the forgotten horse in the Gold Cup, Gavin? Like, what do we make of his reappearance?
I thought it was brilliant. Very, very good. 2.5 miles. He jumped well. I wouldn't say he jumped brilliant. I watched the video again this morning the second time.
He jumped 3 or 4 in a row really well.
Yeah, his jumping was fine. I think he's only ever ran 7 times over fences. But his preparation last year literally was a joke. To go for the Galmoy hurdle, he went off 130 favourite to win the Gold Cup. Just to say how well he ran is that, name the last winner that Pat Kelly had. It's a hard question, you probably don't know. His last winner was Presenting Percy on the 24th of January back in Gorham Park. Since then he's had 76 runners and no winner, so the horse ran very, very well.
Hope you're not watching, Pat.
Well, he did
They're
run
the
well
facts.
though. Yeah,
Unfortunately, Pat, they're the facts. We can't do anything.
I just hope that, I'd say Presenting Percy mightn't go at Christmas because it's so close. If he does go for a third Galmoy hurdle, I'd love to see him go for the Red Mills Chase after that, which is the middle of February. Because if he just goes for the Galmoy hurdle and then on to Cheltenham, it's another disaster.
You know what we'll do? We'll give Pat a ring after the show and we'll find out what he has to say.
He'll tell you, yeah.
And then will he answer?
I doubt it. Presenting Percy, last thing to say is that he's 9 in January. So this is literally his last chance at the Gold Cup, I think, because the last winner of the Gold Cup at 10 years old was 22 years ago.
That's a long time ago, Gavin.
Yeah, it was cooled on.
Cooled on.
So I think this is his best chance, but he needs to run at least once more over fences.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Presenting Percy. I hope your question was answered there, Paul. And that was this week's Questions from the Crowd. And we move on to the week that was. And once again, plenty of Cheltenham clues in Ireland and England. And Gavin has been watching videos for the last 24 hours. He hasn't even gone to sleep. Gavin, the week that was.
Was there any chasers in Hong Kong? No?
No, there was no real Cheltenham clues in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Just won't stay the distance. They mightn't jump, but...
So we're going to start Wednesday in Haydock. Dashel Drasher, a horse who had been second to champ, he won quite well by 7 lengths. He's 25s for the JLT, the RSA and the National Hunt Chase.
To get so good, to get so close to champ, he must be some horse.
You're just biased. Also on Wednesday in Haydock, I don't know if you've seen this, a horse called Marie's Rock. She won a bumper last May. She won an introductory hurdle, they call it. There was some winners in it. She won by 5 lengths in Haydock on Wednesday, but she showed fantastic gears after the last. She's 33 to 1 for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, so she's worth a mention. I don't know if you saw Goshen.
I did.
Friday.
Would be worried about the jumping here now.
Yeah. If
some engine though.
I was just going to say the same thing. If you can get the Triumph Hurdle changed to a right-handed track, I'd definitely be tipping up Goshen. But
just made a mistake at 3 out and 2 out, but mistakes just don't seem to bother.
Yeah, he just lets him run down the last couple, and Fontwell as well. It won by 23 lengths in Fontwell. We mentioned it on the show a few weeks ago. Looks a fantastic horse, great engine. It got handicapped in the flat over 8, 8 and 9 furlongs. And then when it ran over 1.5 miles to 1.6 miles, it won by 12 lengths, 9 lengths and 7 lengths. And that was off 80 the last week.
Could he be a freak?
He could be a very good horse. He's rated 88 in the flat. If he runs in the summertime, make sure you back him on the flat, because to me he looks a huge engine. It's just the problem, as we said, going left-handed and jumping a bit to his right. Like we saw that a few years ago with Getterboard. Getterboard went off 7 to 4 to win the Supreme. Which we all know that Getterboard can't go left-handed, so it is a factor. It's not something to ignore. Saturday in Sandown was a brilliant day. Fiddler on the Roof was worth a mention. It won by 7 lengths.
Very good horse. Solid, jumps well, getting better. Robbie Power, when I interviewed him for the Racing Post, was very, very positive about this horse. Like the horse hadn't won over hurdles even when I was talking to him.
Yeah, I'd been second to Time Hill, so it's a good horse.
Yeah, he thought he could be the real deal in years to come.
With Bet365, it's 20s the Ballymore, 25s the Albert Bartlett, but I'd say he's a nice horse.
There are worse 20 to 1 shots than that.
Yeah, no, good horse. Esprit de Large beat Nuba Negra by 1-2
Do you know what? I fancied him.
lengths.
I was in Hong Kong. I was sitting down with a few of me reporting buddies, and I said, do you know what? Esprit de Large is too big of a price here, because I thought it was a poor grade 1, poor renewal of the race.
Yeah, it was a grade 1, yeah.
And I was quite impressed with him at Exeter, and everybody's going to think this is after time, but he was very impressive.
Yeah, and he's 20 to 1 generally, I think, for the Arkle. And also on Saturday, we have to mention the race of the weekend, really, was the Tingle Creek. I was having a bad punting day until Defi Desai got me out of...
That's what he does. Defi gets punters out of holes. He does, time and time again. It was the same in Cheltenham.
Yeah, in the JLT.
What a performance.
Yeah, it was very, very good. The thing is that, you know, people might complain about the way he doesn't find a lot when he hits the front. I thought Barry gave him a great ride. Because he winged the last and he got a length on Undersow, he kind of had to go for his race, didn't he? And then the long run in doesn't suit him. So Cheltenham will suit him better, even though it's an uphill finish. The Champion Chase with the shorter run in than Sandown would definitely suit him better.
The thing I like about Defi Desai is, it was the same with Lost in Translation a couple of times last year, when after the second last at whatever track he's running at, he might be 2 or 3 lengths behind Undersow, behind Lost in Translation, but he just has those gears just to sit on their tail coming to the last. And it's almost effortless to him. I really like him.
It's very hard for Barry to time it perfectly, because if he gave Undersow 2 lengths at the bend and the next thing he makes a mistake 2 out, he's never going to get there. So tricky to time it perfectly.
Can Defi decide win a champion chase?
Yeah, he's 7-2 at Bet365. I think they're ducking him. He's 5-1, I think, in some places. So
they're scared we're going to tip him. That's why.
he has to have a massive each way chance. Altior could be beatable this season. You never know, for a change. Also to mention, Saturday in Aintree, Native River got a solo because Might Bite unseated. A soft unseat, I thought, at the 4th myself. That's just my opinion.
Is he watching?
There's talk that if the ground come up very soft, he may go to King George, but I'd say he'll probably go to Chepstow, the Welsh National. I'd give him a great chance. He won it 3 years ago. He was carrying top weight then. I think it was off 155. This year he'd be off 167. But I think he'd have a massive chance. I think he's 8-1 for the Welsh National. I fancy him for that if you're on it.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from.
And he's 16-1 for the Gold Cup. Then also on Saturday in Navan, Longhouse Poet, he bolted up in a decent maiden hurl. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did.
So there's only one race that horse is going to go for, considering the connections.
Ballymore.
The Ballymore, trying to get some of their
Won
sponsors.
the race last year with City Island.
Yeah, so try and get some of their money back. He's 25-1 for that. Tornado Flyer, he won over.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, well, he's not a 2-mile one horse.
No, but I was expecting more now, to be honest with you. Just when I seen the result and I seen he won by a couple of lengths, I said this, and then I watched the replay and I said,
he looked in trouble 2 out.
He did, yeah.
Davy Russell did a great job on squeezing Danny Mullins at the time, but he's 33-1 for the JLT, probably about the right price. Sunday in Huntington, 2-dimension, top notch. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did, Gavin. I watched the races. I don't know if you've seen it. I watched every race.
Okay. He beat 100-1 shot Cato Rico and Labagawa. He's 25-1 shot in places for the Ryanair.
Asa was in that race as well. Ran disappointingly.
Correct.
Watched it.
Slate House won the 3-mile novice.
Yeah.
Giving away £10. He's 41.
Again, I thought he'd win easier, and just listening to the Tizzers afterwards, they thought he'd win easier as well.
Yeah, his jump would just want to get a little bit better. Yeah. On to Sunday then in Cork. Celius Emery was very impressive in beating Ballyosheen by 7 lengths.
I think Ballyosheen didn't produce the same performance that he produced at Navan or Killarney.
Records will show he's a little bit better left-handed, Ballyosheen.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sceptical of that form.
Yeah. He won very well. Danny Mullins gave him a good ride. He's now 3 from 3 over fences, and he's 7-1 for the champion chase.
Would you rather have him or Defi?
Probably Defi. So Defi has won at Cheltenham, I think, 6 times,
Very good horse now.
Yeah. Ellie May won the Mares, the Grade 3 Novice Chase, first time over fences. She could be a very, very good horse. And just to mention, it was really sad to see Sonoria having a fatal fall. You could see Rachel Blackmore fisting the ground. She was disgusted when she turned around and seeing that obviously the horse was injured. So that was very, very sad. She was a brilliant mare, Sonoria. Ellie May is 33-1 for the JLT.
Value?
I'd say she's going to be a very good mare, yeah. Then we're on to Punchestown. Couple to mention. Manila Melody won the 2.5 mile Mares Novice Hurdle. She beat Mount Ida and Ard Owen.
Workman-like?
Yeah, work lady-like.
But that's very good off the cuff, Gavin.
It is, yeah. 2.5 mile Novice Hurdle was. I think she's going to be too slow. She's 8-1 for the Mares Novice Hurdle, which is 2 mile one. I couldn't have her. I think that's a bad price. So she'll end up a 3 mile chaser, I'd say, in time. She's a nice horse now.
Yep.
And of course, we have to mention the Great Min.
Who tipped him for the Ryanair?
You did.
Yeah. Value has been got.
I'd say he's probably going to go there. He looked
beat. He's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. He ran the champion chase last year when they got the tactics wrong. But he looked beat between the last 2 and then rallied very well.
Erratic jump in this play.
Yeah, he made one bad mistake down the back. Well, before they went to the back straight, just past the stands, and his jumping was erratic. Yeah.
I've rarely seen Willie so positive after a race about a horse. Like the words he was using, unbelievable performance. It was very un-Willie-like after the race. So I think he saw.
That was a good performance. But I mean, like Vida Rev hit a few fences, and he's only bet 5 or 6 lengths back in 5th. So I wouldn't be jumping up and down.
The most likely winner of the Ryanair at this stage, if we're thinking Defi goes for the champion chase.
Probably Min, I suppose. But I'd like to see them make the running, and then if Undisol goes there, you have that problem. So that's a tricky one. And just to mention, even before the John Durkan, Willie Mullins, he was 2 from 35. And then within an hour and a half, he wins a Grade 1, a Grade 2 and a Grade 3. So it's amazing. And just to mention a couple of things as well. The split screen on Racing TV for the John Durkan, I just... Don't get me started. I thought it wasn't good enough.
Did it affect your viewing experience?
It does. I think there should be a red button or 2 channels or something. But I mean, when I ask the kids have they done the homework, they give you 5 excuses why they haven't. There can't be any more excuses. Just either a red button or 2 channels. Just because Davy Russell was sick and the race was delayed, that's going to happen every week,
What's the kids' best excuse for not doing the homework?
Dog get the homework. Duvan is out of Christmas, just to mention.
Bit worrying.
Yeah, it's just a pity because he's such a gorgeous horse. So. That's the week that was, yeah.
That was the week that was. It's Stat of the Week time. This is an opportunity for Gavin Lynch to give you, Upping The Ante viewers, a stat for the Cheltenham Festival that he thinks will ring true every year. And this time, it is the turn of the Stayers Hurdle, Gavin.
Yes. I go on about age quite a good bit, about different races and stuff, but 9 of the 12 winners, the last 12 winners, were between 6 and 8. The other 3 that were older than that were 9, were English Dreamer, Big Bucks and Solwood. So it takes a brilliant horse if you're older than 8. 6 of the 12 winners were favourites, and generally 5 to 6, 10 to 11, 5 to 6, even when 11 to 8. You often get a short one, but most of them win. 9 of the 12 winners won on their last start before Cheltenham. 6 of the 12 winners ran in the Cleve Hurdle, so obviously that's a good race, pointer before Cheltenham. All 12 had run previously at Cheltenham, which is very interesting. And the last one to mention is that 10 of the 12 winners were rated 158 or higher, so it takes a good horse.
So when you put all that together, Gavin, what have you come up with?
I'll tell you in a few minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're coming back later in the show.
Yep.
That's the Stayers Hurdle. That was the Stat of the Week. Now it's time to preview one of the big races at the Cheltenham Festival. And this week, it's the turn of the Racing Post Arkle. Possibly one of probably my favourite race at the festival. You've just kind of had the Supreme, you're all excited. Yeah. And you've either backed the winner of the Supreme or you've backed the loser. So you either want to get your money back or you want to double your money. And it's just at the perfect time. Excitement building. Great race.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit sad after the Arkle because there's 2 of the best races gone, but it's a brilliant race, yeah. It
is a brilliant race and it's shaping up to be a brilliant race in 2020 as well. The betting, Whip Bet365 at the moment sees Lorena head the market of 4 to 1. Fakir de Dare, the brilliant jumper, is 6 to 1. It is 12 to 1 about Sam Crow, 12 to 1 about Angel's Breath, 14 to 1 City Island, 16 to 1 Al Dancer, 16 to 1 Felix Deje, 16 to 1 Brewing Up a Storm, Put the Kettle On, and Notebook, and it is 20 to 1 Bar. So Gavin, Lorena, she's favoured. Yeah. How good is she? Do we know how good she is?
Well, she's 7 out of 8 since she joined Willie. The only time she got beat was the champion hurdle, where I think she was beaten 16 lengths. She's an exceptional mare. I would say that fences are her cup of tea. It'd be like you playing pool when you need to play a snooker. She's just going to be a fantastic chaser. I'd say, even though she won a beginner's chase and going over 2.5, she'll probably end up in the Arkle, I'd say.
Could I put it to you that maybe Manila Lindo, over a trip too short, was given a nice education, and maybe Lorena was made to look a little bit more impressive than she was?
The only thing is, to my eye, it looked like they went kind of slow early on and then they sprinted down the straight, and she just had a piece of work, really. So
okay, so viewers are watching now, they're seeing Lorena, who's a real sexy horse. She's probably one of the sexiest horses in training. She's 4 to 1. Well, she is very attractive, I have to say. Yeah. But she's a buzz horse, you know, because she's won so many races. She was fancied for the champion hurdle last year. The public have got behind Lorena. There's people watching this show that are going to be saying 4 to 1. There's a bit of value there. She could go off 6 to 4. Is there any chance that she could go off a real hot favourite for this race?
She could. The interesting thing is, like, she's already won over 2.5. She wants soft ground, just like Fakir Dudari does. So will Willie send her to Limerick for the softer ground than Leopardstown, what traditionally it is? Will she go for the 2.5 mile race, possibly against Sam Crow? You don't know. Maybe even
Fakir Dudari running that though.
Maybe, yeah. So he's always said that she needs a very soft ground, which she'll probably get on the Tuesday at Cheltenham. But so 4 to 1, I'd say if Willie comes out and says she's definitely going for the Arkle, she could be a bit shorter.
Okay.
I've tipped up Fakir Dudari, and I don't regret that.
We're coming on to Fakir Dudari. The jumping is a different style to Sprinter Sacra, but creates the same impression. Just makes lengths through the air.
Yeah, in Fairy House, well, even in Navan it was brilliant, but in Fairy House, Mark was quite conservative in the first 6 or 7. Then when they came down from Ballyhack, he let him on, and he was winging fences. And
like, I spoke to Gordon Elliott about this. We were talking about Sam Crow's jumping. Like, if Fakir Dudari hadn't been in the race, I think we'd all be saying Sam Crow jumped really well, very happy.
Jumped fine, yeah.
But it was because Fakir Dudari was jumping so well that he was making Sam Crow look slow through the air. It was an exceptional jump performance.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic sight in the Arkle. I'd say both of them, Lorena and Fakir Dudari, will end up in the Arkle rather than the JLT, so it's going to be some sight. And
you were one of the first to spot the talents of Fakir Dudari. Are you happy?
I am, just for people to realise that it doesn't get the weight allowance because it turns 5 in January, so just to allow for that.
But you think he mightn't need it?
Don't think so. I think he'll run a big race, yeah.
Next in the market is Sam Crow?
No, not for the Arkle, no. Even the other day, Gordon Elliott said we might even step him up to 3 miles, so that created a bit of doubt for the JLT and the RSA market for a couple of days.
But would have a chance in the JLT?
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, good.
If you look back to his best.
I thought you were dissing my Sam Crow there for a few moments.
And he jumped straight, by the way, in Fairy House, because I was a bit pernickety and down royal that it was jumping to its right.
You were very harsh.
Well, just what I saw.
The only thing is he shouldn't have fell. Simple as that. Shouldn't have fallen.
No, he just didn't get the landing gear out in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Next in the market is Angel's Breath, who did nothing
JLT.
wrong. JLT. Al Dancer.
Not good enough. Should put the kettle on, beat that. So not good enough.
City Island.
Good enough. I would imagine probably won't end up in an Arkle. I think I know you've tipped it for it, but it's hard to know. We'll see what happens at Christmas. They've been waiting for better ground, I think. So.
Felix Deji, I don't think we're going to see this season.
No.
Felix Deji. And certainly if he does come back, it might be over hurdles. Brewing Up a Storm, Put the Kettle On, Notebook of those three.
Well, Brewing Up a Storm was fourth in the Ballymore, not good enough. Put the Kettle On was very good the last day. Notebook's jumping, as I said before, is brilliant. And one of the horse at 33 to 1.
Whoa, 33 to 1.
Yeah, if Cashback copped onto himself and behaved himself a bit better and learned to settle a bit better, he could be a decent horse.
Was it a good sign that Willie ran Cashback in the race that Duvan has run, in the race that Faheen has won?
I think he's definitely overpriced. I'm not saying
Sorry, not Faheen, Duvan and Vautour.
Yeah. I wonder... I just think if he needs to cop onto himself and calm down and relax in front a little bit. But in Navan, he had to quicken to get the lead. He had to quicken down the back straight, and he had to quicken when a horse came to him. So I thought he did well in Navan.
Okay.
Was that the race Footpad one, was it? Yeah.
Yes, Footpad as well. Okay, so right now, we have a couple of weeks to Christmas. You know, a while to go before the Racing Post Arkle. Right now, who's the value in the market?
The value in the market, I would say, still Fakir Dudery.
And do you know what? I agree.
Good.
So the two of us are big Fakir Dudery fans in the Racing Post Arkle. Now we move on to what's happening this week, and it is back to Cheltenham. The Caspian Caviar Gold Cup takes centre stage in the Cotswolds on Saturday. We've also got the International Hurdle, and we've also got a cross-country chase. And in Ireland, there's a really good novice hurdle at Navan. So plenty to look forward to, Gavin. What's top of your list this week?
I'm going to chance Yanworth, I think, on Friday. I think he's 7 to 2 at Bet365.
You love your cross-country races, don't you?
Well, it's just, they're usually fairly uncompetitive. There's not too many that can win it. But if Yanworth wants to win a march, he has to have a run around the fences beforehand, which traditionally, you know, that has been shown. So he's carrying top weight. It's a handicap. Rather, the one in March is not a handicap. So if he does get beat on Friday, it's not the end of the world. It's not his chances are gone. But I'll have a few quid in him.
Is there a chance he could be absolutely different class completely to everything he runs against on Friday?
He could be. He could be. You want to make sure that you know, he gets around, jumps well. He'll travel brilliant. Yeah, I think he's worth a bet, 7 to 2.
Darragh O'Keefe was on my flight back from Cheltenham in November, and we spoke a tiny bit about Yanworth, and he said he's only going to get better. So that's encouraging.
Yeah, well, he's with the right man, Enda Bulger. So
he certainly is. He's got a Banks course in his back garden. It's unbelievable. The International Hurdle is obviously very interesting. The return of the Triumph Hurdle winner, Pentland Hills. Chittobello, the county hurdle winner, is in there. And I don't think we've mentioned the winner yet.
Okay, who's that?
I'm going to chance Call Me Lord.
All right.
I just don't... he's a bit soft. Doesn't find as much off the bridle.
He's a bridle horse.
He is a bridle
horse.
Didn't think he quite got home. I know he should have got home, but it looked as though he needed the run and he got outstayed, given way to If the Cap Fits at Ascot. But I'm going through this race and I'm saying, you know, Pendleton's won the Triumph Hurdle. I know Curse of Line was impressive on his first start of the season, but given what happened to Sir Eric, I just wonder about the form of the Triumph Hurdle. Then you've got Chittobello, who's a very, very good handicapper, but he's probably...
You'd be disappointed if Chittobello won it really, wouldn't you?
And then you've got Call Me Lord, who has a bit to do, was rated 160. He's a very good, solid horse who might not find that much off the bridle. But I just wonder, is this the race for him? Like, will he take advantage because it's not a particularly good renewal of the race?
Yeah, I think the Jolly will win it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Pentland Hills? Okay.
I won't back him, but I'd say he'll win it.
And in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup, what a name.
Yeah, great name, yeah.
Do you like your caviar?
Never had it.
The favourite at the moment is Riders on the Storm.
Who sang that song?
Riders on the Storm. I know this. No, I don't. Give me a clue.
The Doors. Is that a good clue?
That's the worst clue ever. You just told me the answer.
I did.
You're crap at
good
that
song.
game.
Great band.
I'm glad I'm not in your house for Christmas. Just giving the answers to
Will you win
charades. Look, Riders on the Storm. I was mad in it last year for the Close brothers. I just don't think he's a horse you can rely on.
Okay.
That was a really good performance at Aintree.
Yep.
Like, he's by Scorpion. He can be very, very good. He's a really good jumper when he gets it right. He's a strong traveller. I just wonder, will CPAJ reverse that form if CPAJ turns up?
Do you like Scorpions?
They're unpredictable, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah. Like, there's obviously some very good ones, and
Yeah.
we've seen what Mike Bike can do. But I just wonder, will CPAJ reverse that form? Secret Investor is one of the bigger prices that I thought had a chance.
Okay. Very good.
So it's Yanworth for you,
Yes.
and
I'll
Call
back
Me
him.
Lord for me at the weekend. So that's what's happening this week. So, Gavin, why don't we have a look at our anti-post picks so far?
Yep.
Envoy Allen to win any race at Cheltenham Festival, 11 to 4.
Sure,
You got the value.
He just has to get there, doesn't he?
Fakir Didare in the Arkle.
Good chance, yeah.
Yeah, you happy with him?
Ah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we spoke about Fakir Didare. You've got your beloved Jamworth.
Yep, we'll see this Friday.
Gypsy Island.
Lasted 24 hours next.
Unaccepted.
Yeah, I just took a chance that he could be exceptional.
He could be exceptional. And of course, you just plagiarised one of my tips, Time Hill.
Yeah, I just copy you and just pick a different race.
Imagine if you copy me in life. You want me where you are now?
No, I'm standing over there. I just think he'll run the Bartle because I think Envoy Allen might go for the Ballymore. So
yeah, well, I think he could be too good for the Albert Bartlett. So that's why I think he'll go for the Ballymore. Okay. Of course, Time Hill was one of my tips as well. And I started off with Champagne Classic in the National Hunt Chase.
Yeah.
Just really solid. Still the same price.
Good horse.
But certainly has got a big chance. There is, unfortunately, Sharjah in the Champion Hurdle.
Next.
Which I don't think, no chance.
No, I just said next.
Yeah, but that means no chance. We've got Min in the Ryanair.
Min in the Ryanair is good.
Happy?
Yeah, we should have won on Sunday, so all good. Yeah,
happy. Willie was very happy as well. And City Island for the Racing Post Arkle. Hopefully he'll end up there. We don't really know.
No, he's a very good horse though.
Who's got the better list at the minute, me or you?
I would call it a draw. It'd be nice.
I definitely will. No. And I'm going to go further ahead this week because we're going to have our next selections coming right up. Now, Upping The Ante viewers, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time for this week's Ante-Post picks for the 2020 Cheltenham Festival. Do you want to go first or second, Gavin?
You go first.
Viewers are going to be sick.
Oh,
don't care what I tip. They only want to see what you tip. Okay, well, I've got two big prices here. They're both the same price. Two 16 to 1 shots.
Excellent, yeah.
And the first of them is Stand Up and Fight.
Okay.
In the Fox Hunters at the Cheltenham Festival, 16 to 1. Now, this horse was 13 to 2 for the race last year, was ridden by Derek O'Connor, finished 6th. But I distinctly remember writing the preview to this race and interviewing Enda Bulger. At the time, Stand Up and Fight was favourite. It was only just after turning 7, and he said, you know what, it could just come a little bit early in Stand Up and Fight's education. He might just be too much of a baby for it.
Okay.
But he said it's going to be a brilliant experience for next year. And hopefully, in 12 months' time, we're going to come back with a horse that's robust enough to run well in the Fox Hunters. I thought he ran quite well. He finished 6th, was given a nice education by Derek O'Connor. I think that was the perfect setup for this year's race. He won it down Royal on December 26th last year. I think that's the race he's going to go for again. And to me, this is the same horse that finished 4 lengths second to Album Photo in a Grade 2 at Fairyhouse as a younger horse over hurdles. I think he's got a bit of class. And if you remember, on the Fringe, do you remember on the Fringe?
Yes.
Remember what Enda Bulger did with him?
Yes.
So I think...
I would just have a little worry if he'll definitely stay 3 mile 2.
Well, you say that. Okay. But I remember being asked the same question about on the Fringe early in his career.
Okay.
Enda brings out the stamina. I think Stand Up and Fight 16 to 1. If he wins it down Royal on December 26th, he won't be 16 to 1 now. So Upping The Ante viewers, get on at 16 to 1, Stand Up and Fight. For the Fox Hunters at Cheltenham, and my second selection is also 16 to 1. And Gavin, it's a horse that you've mentioned on this show before, but you didn't tip it.
Go on.
I got there first. It's Fury Road for the Albert Bartlett. Because I went through all the markets, Gavin. It's very hard to find value. A lot of them are stagnant at the moment. And I went to the Albert Bartlett. I think Time Hill is going to run the Ballymore. And then I went through the Albert Bartlett. And this horse has been flawless over hurdles so far. Really good jumper, attacks his hurdles, was just as good at Navan as it was at Down Royal, even though it had very little to beat at Navan. And it's still 16 to 1. I just don't understand why this horse is not 8 to 1.
I actually had considered tipping him up, and I studied the time that it did in Down Royal. That was a very fast time in Down Royal, just to tell you.
Yeah, thanks. You just endorsed my views. But I just think with Fury Road, if Gordon has Abracadabras for the Supreme and Andy Dufresne potentially for the Supreme or Ballymore, then he's got Envoy Allen for the Ballymore. That leaves Fury Road, who is the perfect type for the Albert Bartlett. He's a strong traveller. He raced up with the pace. He thought he was one of his best bumper horses last year. He's a good jumper. To me, he ticks all the boxes. I just don't know why he's 16 to 1.
Yeah, I suppose he hasn't beaten anything yet is the reason. But if he goes and wins a Grade 2 or something, or maybe he might go to the Lawlers and Ace race in early January.
Yeah, there you go. So there are my 2 selections. It's Fury Road for the Albert Bartlett and Stand Up and Fight for the Fox Hunters. So now it is your turn, Gavin.
I have a short price one and a long price one.
Okay, do the short price one first.
Okay, so
now, the long price one is very long.
It is a 25 to 1.
25 to 1. Okay, so give the short price one.
The short price one is, as we said before, you just have to have this fella in your team.
Go for it.
She's going to win. Paisley Park. 7 to 4.
Paisley
7 to 4.
If
I
said
to you,
you're going to have to make a very good case here.
Okay. Well,
what will make
I don't even need to go through his farm.
What will make me go and back Paisley Park 7 to 4? You have to convince me in the next minute.
Okay, I'd say to you, if let's say I gave you a 5 to 1, that should be 3 to 1. 5 to 1 horse, it should be 3 to 1, right?
Yeah,
40% figure. I'm saying to you that I think this horse should be even money. I think 7-4 is too big.
He has to get there.
He's 40% too big with price, in my opinion.
40%?
Yeah, he should be even money. Like, what's going to beat him? If the cap fits,
no.
Bit of a chance. But apart from that, I was a bit disappointed with Bacardi's. I thought he might be a danger. He was well stuffed at
I thought he ran
Fairyhouse.
quite well.
But this fella, he's 7. Last year he won handicaps like last October, November. Then he wins the long walk, he wins the cleave. We all backed him in the stairs. He looked in trouble as usual before they turned in. And then when they turned in, he just went straight past them. You can find fault with his form. He beat West Approach and he beat Sam Spinner, and recently he beat...
They're all winning lately.
Thistlecrack, who's turning 12, but he was giving weight away. I just think... I'll tell you what, he's as big a certainty as Benny DeJew is in the mares without Honeysuckle, or Honeysuckle is without Benny DeJew, in my opinion.
So are you telling me that right now, the biggest certainty at the Cheltenham Festival is Paisley Park?
It is, yeah.
And you're telling viewers to get the 7-4 with Bet365.
I just want to get the winner on board.
You want to get a winner?
Yeah.
So you know why that is? You're scared. You're scared that my list is better than yours.
No.
So you're just putting in winners now. So 7-4 Paisley Park.
I think it's good value.
For the
if you're going to do a few multiples, make sure he's in them. The only thing is, he has to get there. We all know that, but it's only 3 months away.
Yeah, and it's only 7-4.
Yeah.
Your next selection, thankfully, viewers, this is a much bigger price.
We actually spoke about this horse a year ago. The horse is, I like the way you're thinking. If you go in, if you don't have a Bet365 account, open one and stick 20 quid in this lad at 25 to 1 to win any race, which I think is great value.
25 to 1, I like the way you're thinking, to win any race at the 2020 Cheltenham Festival. Now, you've been rabbiting on about this horse for a long time.
For a
but
year.
I have to say, that's too big.
That's too big. A 90% chance I'd say he'll go for the Martin Pipe rather than a Coral Cup or a County Hurdle if he does go to Cheltenham. He's only ran 7 times. He was an eye-catcher in 2 maiden hurdles. A year ago, he ran an interesting race at Fairyhouse. He finished...
Good choice of words.
Yeah, just outside the 3. And he was off 108 that day. And we said a year ago that he was the best handicapped horse in Ireland.
Ever.
And he's off 132 now, and he's still very, very well handicapped, I think. He bolted up twice in Galway. It was 111, 116. Darragh Keefe rode him that day, the 2 days in Galway. So I'd say he'll ride him.
What a bonus he's going to be if he gets to ride him.
Yeah, I'd say he'll ride him in the Martin Pipe. Yeah. He's already 132. That's high enough to get into the race. It ran last week in Fairyhouse, finished 9th, wasn't knocked about, ran a grand race. It might run once more, hopefully, before Cheltenham, but I think it's got a great chance.
You know what the best thing about I like the way you're thinking is? It's great for shows like that because I can just go, I like the way you're thinking, Gavin.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, he's very aptly named, isn't he?
He is, yeah. No, he's a good horse, and I think he's well overpriced.
Yeah, and it's the 6th week in a row you've mentioned him.
3 anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So I like the way you're thinking. At 25 to 1 with Bet365 to win any race at the 2020 Cheltenham Festival. So that's it, folks. That is episode 6 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. We've thoroughly enjoyed that one, Gavin.
Yeah.
Best of luck with all your punting this week.